I was contacting him and requesting, please sir, आप सिनेमा मत बंद कीजिए, आप एक बार मेरी फिल्म लीजिएगा, फिर आपको नहीं लगता तो बंद कर दीजिएगा. He'd done 5 movies with Akshay and Lolo by then. But 90% of the movies which have been proclaimed hits and blockbusters and all were not hits. OTT is content. OTT is not film. Film cinema is for cinema halls. She asked me, what are you doing? I said, I'm starting this movie next week with Akshay Kumar, Lara Dutta and Priyanka. And she was orgasmic. She said, wow, a threesome. Hi, I'm Suneel Darshan, filmmaker, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
This pure heart, this absolute forgiving attitude that you have, do you have the same for Sunny Deol also?
See, Akshay Kumar, as I told you, Akshay Kumar was not a damaging series. Sunny Deol, in contrast, he had a massive ego. And I had to go through I'm still undergoing, the process is still not over. 25 years, 26 years later, my litigation with him is still on because he promised, first he promised to return the money. Then he said that he had no money, so I must make a film with him. Then he got me, there was the Chief Justice of India, retired, Mr. Bharucha, before whom this whole matter was put, and he expressed to Mr. Bharucha that he didn't have the liquidity to, reimburse my amount, so he decided to do a film for me, and we should do a film together. Mr. Bharucha explained this to me. I had no grudge. I was working with his brother. I did 3 movies with him back to back.
Yeah.
I had no problems. I said, चलो गलती कोई भी कर सकता है, सुधर सकता है ना. But no, he fooled me. After 11 months, he was supposed to finish the movie. He kept, postponing the date, talking, discussing stories, offering me coffee and tea and, all that kind of stuff. And after that period, that which was mentioned in the paper, one day a common friend asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm just going to start a movie, Sunny, in another month or 2. The dates are just about to be allotted. So he asked me, are you sure? I said, what does this guy mean? So I went back to my lawyers and asked him to put on a letter. And can you imagine, I actually got a reply back that he hadn't approved the film, the subject. And as per contract and as per evidences, everything had been approved. So he said he has not approved the dialogues of the movie. But I was not supposed to get the dialogues approved from him. Has any actor or any filmmaker had to approve dialogues?
Dialogues, yeah.
So the intention was wrong. So that excruciating, and there was a lot of money involved in it, at that point of time. And then he took me on this long goose chase, which is still on. The legal systems, how they are.
Sunil ji, one film that has so many stories around it that we'd like to talk about. It also marks the debut for Lara Dutta and Priyanka Chopra. Film hai Andaz. Halaki, there was a multiplex strike back in the year, jiski wajah se hero film pehle aayi. Do you regret that?
No, I don't regret anything. I just felt that, hero not striking the right chords was bad for Priyanka Chopra. Because, but even today, the beauty is that even the audience remembers Andaz as her debut movie. And where Andaz was concerned also, Lara was, I was supposed to make a movie with Akshay and 2 big heroines. Somehow I felt the big heroines, one of them would be the Kapoor sisters, obviously. Bebo was not available, and Lolo was, we thought she would be in the movie, but somehow things were not working out at that point. I felt there was no novelty because we'd done 5 movies with Akshay and Lolo by then. So I said, let's do something else. And that else was, let's cast 2 new girls. But by then Akshay had become the dude. He'd had Janwar, Ek Rishta, there was Dhadkan, there was Hera Fairy, there was Aankhein. There's movies that happened.
Correct.
So somewhere he was emerging. He was not there. He was on the fringe. And so what to do? The best thing to do was cast 2 fresh girls. It's very easy, fresh girls. Very difficult to find them. But I was just fortunate. I'd seen a picture that Akshay and Lara had done, a cover on Filmfare.
Okay.
About a year before, but the pairing had somehow, the movie was not made or whatever, I don't know what it was. And I said, chalo yaar, us ladki ko bulate hain. We called for her and she was in Bangalore. We asked her to take a flight and come in immediately. Yeah, she was here and I thought she was presentable, to be honest, but she was fresh.
Right.
And the second girl, we were just thinking of who comes in there, you know. There were talks of a lesser known girl to be cast in a role and squeeze her role a little and get going, because the movie was to start immediately and finish within 3 months, which doesn't normally happen in Bombay. And then suddenly the secretary walked in. I knew him and he requested me to meet the girl he brought along, and that girl was Priyanka Chopra. When the door opened, first look, my thing is, oh, now what is this? Actually, that, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, that was my first reaction.
Your first reaction was?
Yeah, she was not the conventional beauty. Don't forget, I had worked with Meenakshi, Juhi, Karisma.
So you're saying that you did have your doubts about, casting her?
No, I didn't have a doubt. I didn't know to. I had not taken any decision. Someone just walked in, so it's okay. So I said, let's sit down and talk to her. Be civil and let's, talk to the person. And when I spoke to her for 15 minutes, I said, my God, look at her voice. She can steal you, if you're a blind man, you fall in love with that girl. And the second thing, the way she used her eyes. Her eyes express so much. Her body language is so amazing. She knows the language, so she knows how to express it.
Yeah.
And 15 minutes of conversation, I said, see, I'll cast her. I told her, it's the second role in the movie. I told her, the first is already cast. But I'll tell you what, if you give the best of yourself, you will be the biggest winner in this film. And I don't think she took me very seriously though, but she needed to do a movie desperately by then.
Yeah.
A movie that, earlier she was trying to get into, they would never start. Something was not going wrong for her. So she I got a contract going with her saying that will be the first release, which also she signed on. And before she knew, we were already shooting the movie. And yes, I remember telling Akshay Kumar and Raj Kavar and my DOP, Ishwar Bidri, I said, I think I've met another Rekha.
Wow.
I knew Rekha ji very well before that. So, she's a family friend, stuff like that. So I said, I think, this girl, every time you see her, she's changing, she's evolving, she's growing, and she's attracting. The right would have been very seductive, she was. And then the movie went on and the thing was, the movie starts and I remember meeting a friend who asked me, a female friend, and she asked me, what are you doing? I said, I'm starting this movie next week with Akshay Kumar, Lara Dutta and Priyanka. And she was orgasmic. She said, wow, a threesome. That's how it actually went.
But how were the relationships between the two ladies?
They were friends. They were buddies. They knew how to handle everything in life together.
So all these rumors about catfights happening between them?
Never, not between them. No. They knew how to handle the world. One knew how to handle the world, the other knew how to handle the universe. So they could handle everything. They were very intelligent.
And how has your relationship with them been right now?
Cordial. I think Lara invited me for a wedding, but I couldn't make it in Pune, and my father was very ill then, hospitalized, so I couldn't make it. And where Priyanka is concerned, Priyanka invited me for a wedding to Bombay, so I attended it and wished her. And she introduced me to her husband, Nick, and told him that, start my career with him.
Yeah.
So I was very thankful to her for that.
Was it also true कि कहीं आप काजोल को भी इस फिल्म के लिए?
जी नहीं, काजोल जानवर फिल्म में जिस रोल में शिल्पा शेट्टी आई थी, उस रोल के लिए काजोल she was locked for it, to be honest, verbally locked. But then we got to know later, so one day Tanuja ji just called me, summoned me to her house in town, and she broke the news. She says, she's getting married, and they don't want her to pursue a career then, So I said, no problems. It was a pleasure. They'd been very nice to me, to be honest. In fact, even the other day I met her sister Tanisha, and there's a certain cordiality and warmth to the relationship we still share.
Lovely. This film went ahead and completed 100 days in the theatre and was a silver jubilee in the theatre.
Just before I released this movie, I had so much of problem getting theatres. because a lot of theatres were closing down at that point of time. And I remember...
How did you manage it then?
I called up people. There was a cinema guy in Jabalpur and a cinema guy in Gwalior. I was contacting them and requesting, please sir, आप सिनेमा मत बंद कीजिए, आप एक बार मेरी फिल्म लीजिएगा, फिर आपको नहीं लगता तो बंद कर दीजिएगा. And then the industry, being the industry that it is, Andaz में they forgot to add the AZ, so they would call it ANDA.
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 This is, the film people, that's how they would do. You have these series here. So I just take it and I laugh. Andaz's music had worked big time before. The chemistry was showing. The publicity itself was so exciting that Ram Gopal Varma went to watch the movie on the first show in the morning. And he was so excited by the publicity. And he didn't like the movie, he told me. So I was very happy he didn't like the movie because, his genre was restricted to the, the urban places.
Yeah.
But the kind of movies we make, I thought they were working maybe a little less in the urban, but where the world was concerned, worldwide, my movies were always respected.
I love how you were happy that he didn't like the movie.
Yeah, that was his taste. I don't think.
Was there an alternate ending to Andaz?
No, the movie was shot longer. On the as per the director, Mr. Rajkawar, he said he was a responsible senior guy. But I didn't agree with him.
Okay.
So I just thought that, when a movie is, when a story is told beyond a certain length, it becomes draggy and boring. So the final cut, because that was the arrangement, our legal arrangement, mentioned that I would take a call to the final cut of the movie. So I sat on the final cut after the director submitted his cut. And we locked the film.
I think every film of yours has a story in itself. On screen and off screen also. Would you agree to that?
Yes, every incident has a story. It's how you narrate it.
There's a film called Haan Maine Bhi Pyar Kiya Hai.
Yes.
And there were rumors about Abhishek Bachchan and Karisma Kapoor together.
Never. There were no rumors. They were confirmed. They were a couple. They were getting married. We have attended the the engagement.
Yeah,
yes. I was a part. The Kapoor sisters were very close. More because I thought my respect for Babita ji was... I was very fond of her as an actress. And these girls came in and it was a wonderful relationship. And where Abhishek was concerned, Haan Maine Pyar Kiya was a special movie that it needed to be. And the only movie where Abhishek and Karisma Kapoor were cast together. They never worked together before or after. And even in that movie, I'll tell you, there was a superstar who wanted to be a part of that movie because the role of a superstar.
Okay.
But it was my adamancy that, my movie being made, because Akshay Kumar requested me, he says, am I not going to be in your movie?
Okay.
I said, of course you'll be there. He said, please. So he was cast in the movie there again, and in a superstar's role. He was not a superstar then, though.
So who was the other superstar you're talking about?
That's not to be named. Some things should just stay mysteries.
So was it during the filming of this film when they decided to part ways? Personally?
No. It was after that.
It was after that. So picture ban gayi and there wasn't any...
No, picture bante bhi, but they were not really the made for each other kinds.
Okay.
There was a constant bickering. There was, maybe that's how some people are made.
Yeah.
So I always felt that, are they really the made for each other kind of pair, And Abhishek is a sweet fellow. Lolo, she's a very nice person, but maybe some things are destined.
So if you look back from a third person's point of view, you do feel that it isn't a pair that, you can see.
Agar hota to destiny upar wala thodi change karta. He would have let it happen.
Correct.
So it didn't happen.
इतनी सारी फिल्में प्रोड्यूस की, आपने खुद लिखी, डायरेक्ट की, and then the stories that came along, that tagged along with the films. What is next on your mind? Because we don't see you making films and it's been quite some time now, Suneel ji.
I'll tell you what happened. Somewhere after Dosti, the negativity in the industry started. I started understanding that it's not just about your own honesty and integrity to your films. There's a lot of things. The people who you work with, they need to have the same conviction and the same belief in each other. So when those beliefs break down,
Yeah.
the systems break down, and gradually what happened this was post 2003 actually when it started, when the corporates started coming in. They came in with their own ethics. Whether they're right or wrong, I'm not nobody to judge. But I know one thing, that they came in with this belief that cinema is made with money alone. And they realized that, it's only the face that matters.
Yeah.
So an actor who needed to be paid 1x was suddenly being paid 4x because he would get greedier. Then he started putting up this huge team of people around him, so that that alienates the actor from the filmmaker, who was actually connecting with that. Some relationships contribute to the creation of that cinema, that drama that you put together. And yes, that's one reason. I'll trust me that 90% of the movies which have been proclaimed hits and blockbusters and all were not hits. Post 2005, I'm talking about. But those were more of figures, jargons, who nobody knew whether it was right or wrong. But this was some stock market thing. That's where we had, the Hindi film industry went into this Bollywood over here, which was all about these figures and stuff like that alone, without the quality of the content being there. The people who decide on what you're doing and what you're making were coming in, wanted to make Hindi films for Bilaspur, Raipur, Gwalior and Shillong, But they were all coming in from schools from New York and LA. So they could not all, they couldn't connect. They don't connect with the audience there. And that's the biggest problem you have.
But the question remains that, do we see you making films?
I'm looking forward to starting a movie very soon. I would have actually been filming right now for a new project. But
you want to tell us something about it?
Nothing is. It will be a wholesome Hindi entertainer, Hindi film entertainer. And it'll be a Hindi film.
Okay.
It's not going to be pretend to be, I'm not pretending to be Martin Scorsese. What's this Scorsese?
Are you working with actors who you've worked with in the past, or are you going to work with newcomers now?
Yes, I would like to work with fresh people. I mean, people who are around.
Yes.
But the fresher league, I'd like to work with them. Time doesn't spare anyone, You were 30 yesterday, today you become 60. As a director, because I'm behind the camera, maybe I can carry it off. But for the actors, they have... I recently watched a movie where the actor was supposed to be 25 in the film.
Okay.
As a character. And his age was maybe more than twice. So it's very difficult to carry that kind of a thing off.
Correct.
Your body language changes, the mechanism, everything it's totally this thing. So I've decided to cast people who only fit my movie. I have a son called Shiv Darshan.
Yeah.
I've made 2 movies with him, and I find him to be competent. And if I don't find him competent, I would not make a movie with him, for sure. It's just that he also had to bear the strains of what the Darshans had to, for no fault of theirs, for making successful films, but being honest, blunt, talking to the face.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Hits and flops are part of the journey. But there's the problem that we are facing in the last decade is where the exhibition sector is having its own monopolistic, trends. And so even if you make a movie, if you make a good movie, and if your movie is put in a 7 a.m. show and a 11 p.m. show, your movie is not shown. And then you say, no collections ever came. There was a certain theory of a certain practice of how cinema was exhibited and distributed and stuff. Now that's all gone to the dogs with new theories coming in and everything.
But do you think that the audience is also changing and it has also evolved now?
I always feel it evolved. There's space for more. But when you change your basics, then you go through this very turbulent phase that we have gone through in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
It was there earlier also, but they were hiding it because the American money was flowing and how things were moving. But the last 5 years have seen this very, very turbulent and very traumatic phase.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about the OTT platform?
I'd love to make a content for OTT, definitely. Why not? I think technology should be welcomed.
Yeah.
But technology, OTT is content. OTT is not film. Cinema is for cinema halls. And that subsequent to cinema halls can be played on television or on those platforms, the subsequent platforms. But as I live, my personal dream and aspiration is to keep making films.
Which is so important.
Yes, it's very, very important. Trust me. Films really, they have a tremendous impact on your psyche, on the viewers here. Can you imagine people, whatever they may in their personal lives, just because they acted in these movies, they have these beautiful images, and somewhere to survive, to give you hope. Images are important to hold on to.
Do we see a lot of your films on OTT? Do you see them in the search option or?
Well, to be honest, I don't watch much of OTT. I've never searched anything on OTT. It's just that when it's on, I watch it and that's okay. I still believe that cinema, the pleasure of watching a movie in a cinema hall is entirely different.
And finally, this question that we'd love to know. Will there be a Suneel Darshan directed film that has Akshay Kumar in it?
I'm not the man who writes destinies. That's someone up there who does it. Who knows what you hold in store for you. Having said that, Akshay and me got along till we got along well.
Yeah.
We did good work. And most of the movies, even if they did not do as well, you cannot run them down as cinema. It's just that sometimes a movie is not promoted well. There's so many factors that contributed to the success of a movie.
Correct.
But I don't know, and never is not a word that exists in my dictionary. At least not for Akshay Kumar. No, it doesn't.
Wonderful. Suneel ji, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, knowing about your journey, your films, and all the ups and downs. A man who's gone through strikes back in 1997, 2003, whether it's the multiplex strikes or whether it is the actors striking out from the film. You've seen it all, and we wish you all the best for every new phase in your life.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. This is me, Urmin, and you were watching us on Bollywood Hungama.
Hi, I'm Suneel Darshan, filmmaker, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.